Uh, there we go. We are recording. Also, the Q&A is open. The chat is disabled, but if you have questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A. And we have not only Amy, but we have a few of our partners over at North Carolina's Education Assistance Authority monitoring the chat. So we are happy to answer your questions as we go through this evening's presentation. We are going to talk about making the most out of college fairs and what to expect when it comes to college fairs coming to your area. So we'll go ahead and get started. When it comes to college fairs in North Carolina, many of them, if not most of them, are governed by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, also known as CACRO. CACRO is a professional association that is geared towards providing access to college opportunities here in the state of North Carolina. And it is made up of accredited institutions here in North and South Carolina. And through CACRO, they schedule college fairs across the state. So typically, from Labor Day to the first week of November, there are two concurrent weeks happening at the same time in all areas of North Carolina. And 40 to 70 colleges will travel throughout the state to attend local college fairs in each region of the state. So no matter where you live in North Carolina, there is going to be a CACRO fair in your area. Depending on the area, though, some college fairs are what we call consolidated fairs. So it may be a countywide fair that's held at a central location. There may be fairs at individual high schools. It really just depends on where you are in the state. The fairs that are held during the day are typically for students and they are held at high schools. So students will typically be released from class to attend a college fair at their school, or they may be bussed into a central area during the day. I live here in Wilmington, and the Wilmington Fair will be at Cape Fear Community College this year. It'll be during the day where students will be bussed in from New Hanover County schools, and they will be able to ask colleges questions during the school day. There are other areas, including New Hanover County, that also have evening fairs, and those are a great time for parents to come and engage and ask questions to colleges as well. However, some schools will allow parents to attend those day fairs, so it is important to talk to your high school counselor about not only when your fair is coming up, but also if parents are allowed to come. It's good to know whether or not you have a day fair at your high school or a consolidated fair, just so you can coordinate transportation and make sure you're in attendance, because there are colleges from all over who want to talk to you and engage with you at these college fairs. Now, once you figure out what kind of fair you have going on in your area, it's important to prepare yourself before the college fair. College fairs are an important time to be able to engage with colleges and learn about how to prepare for applications, learn about what programs they may have, what extracurriculars they may have, and ways for you to get a better understanding of what colleges have to offer so you can make an informed decision about where you go after high school. So before the fair, it is important to prepare yourself. And a couple of things we want you to start thinking about and at least know about yourself as you prepare to go to the college fairs in your area this fall. One, is important to know your weighted and unweighted GPA. Some high schools will allow you to print off your transcript and bring those to college fairs so you can talk to schools about where you stand academically. However, because transcripts have a lot of personal information on them, it's not always a great idea to give it to college counselors, as they are traveling around throughout the week and may not be back in their office for a few days or a few weeks, depending on where we are in the fall. So it's important to know your weighted and unweighted GPA. It's okay to bring your transcript, but we wouldn't recommend necessarily giving your transcripts to colleges, as they may not be able to process it until they get back to the office. We do recommend that they be sent electronically to colleges as a part of your application. If your school does class rank, it's good to know your class rank. That may be helpful as well. So when you're talking to colleges about what they're looking for academically, they can tell you, we're looking for a 3.8 to a 4.2. That was the middle 50% of students accepted last year. If you know your weighted and unweighted GPA, that gives you a better understanding of whether or not you're going to be competitive for this school. Some schools do take in consideration class rank, so knowing that will also help you get a better gauge on whether or not this is a good fit for you academically. CFNC.org is a fantastic resource for students and families to do research on schools and programs that they may be interested in before attending a college fair. So, if you know what you want to be when you grow up, you can use our college search tool to narrow down schools that have those academic programs in the state of North Carolina so that you're prepared to engage with those specific schools at college fairs. If you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, it is a-okay. Nobody is expecting you to know your whole life at 17 or 16. However, it's good to know what qualities you like in schools. Do you want a large school or a small school? Are you interested in going to school in an urban or a rural environment? And you can use our college search tool to narrow down the colleges in North Carolina to a palatable list that you can bring to a college fair and engage with the schools that have what you're looking for, or schools that you may have more questions about. North Carolina has 111 colleges and universities, so it is important to do some research ahead of time to get a better understanding of what's out there so that you're not overwhelmed when you walk into a room with tons of different colleges wanting to talk to you. You can talk to your counselor about proper attire and how to have important conversations with college representatives. They may have canned questions that you can ask the colleges to get a better understanding of what they have to offer or if they're a good fit for you. Some schools may have a dress code for the college fair, so it is important to talk to your counselor or listen to those counselor announcements or read those emails to make sure that you're preparing yourself for these college fairs. One tip we like to make sure that students know is that it is important to go ahead and set up a professional email address, something generic, something that doesn't give away too much personal information, but is something that you can share with colleges to receive more information after the fair or to follow up with them after the fair. Most schools will go ahead and get rid of your high school email address after you graduate, and you may want to keep this information on hand for the future. So, having a personal and professional email address going into a college fair is very important so that you can keep that information past graduation if you need it. That being said, a lot of schools now participate in what we call Strive Scan. So, in partnership with CACRO, StriveScan is a organization that gives students a barcode. So instead of filling out paperwork at every table or filling out an interest card at every table, you can now sign up for StriveScan through your school. You should get information about how to sign up for StriveScan before your local college fair. You'll put your information into StriveScan and you'll be given a barcode. So when talking to colleges, if you're interested in that school, you can provide your barcode, they'll scan it, and your information goes into their system so they can engage with you after the college fair. Amy, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Brittany, I do. Thank you. And again, welcome everybody for being on the webinar tonight. You can go to strivescan.com now if you'd like to, and there's a wonderful video to share with you how you do the registration process. And certainly there's an opportunity that you can go ahead and sign up on the website at strivescan.com, and you'll see a link for registration, and you can go ahead and follow that link. Now, some of your schools, you will find out more details from your school counselor, and some of them may require that you do this prior to the college fair. Others may set up the barcodes for you. But the convenience is to learn more about it now in case they do not share the information or they forget to share the information. That sometimes happens in the heat of once school is started, and they forget simply to remind you to do that. But that's a great resource that you can go ahead and take advantage of understanding the process by watching the video.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amy. I really appreciate it. Like Amy said before, we both spent time in college admissions and we both have done tons of college fairs. So Amy is a wealth of information when it comes to preparing for college fairs, best practices, and that's why we've teamed up tonight on this presentation. Also, when preparing for college fairs, if you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, again, that's a-okay, but we've got you. At cfnc.org, we have different assessments that you can take to learn about how your interests may match up with different careers in the state of North Carolina, or about how your personality or your skills may match up with different careers in North Carolina. That can give you a better gauge of what majors may be a best fit for you and give you a better understanding of what to be looking for in colleges based on what careers are a great match for you. You can talk to your high school counselor about virtual and in-person events that might be happening during Countdown to College in October. This webinar is our way of kicking off Countdown to College, which is the fall here in North Carolina, mainly October, when we're really encouraging students and families to complete steps to achieve that post-secondary education. So during the month of October, we are going to be providing tons of resources for students and families to complete their residency, to complete their applications, and to complete their FAFSA. Typically during the month of October, tons of college fairs are happening as well. So we want you to be prepared. So setting up your CFNC account, taking different assessments, and researching these colleges before the fair is going to be really important. And then asking your counselor about different virtual and in-person events during the month of October and during the fall will help you get a better organized and prepared for different ways to engage with college professionals as you decide and apply on where you're going after high school. Typically, during the month of October, there's programming that's happening every week, but one of our favorite weeks of the year is College Application Week. Usually we abbreviate it in emails as CAW, but during that week, a huge chunk of schools in the state of North Carolina will waive their application fees if you apply through cfnc.org. So it's important to set up your account ahead of time. It's important to get to know what's going on in your area so that you can prepare for application week, because sometimes your college fair may be before or after application week and you may want to engage with them ahead of time. So knowing what's going on in your area will help you kind of figure out when the best time is going to be to engage. College application week and countdown to college typically happens during CACROS season. So students can spend time at fairs narrowing down where they want to apply, but they can also engage with us through virtual events as well. So just keep in mind, college fairs are not the only part of this process, but one of the best ways to engage with colleges as you start to figure out where you'd like to apply and look for assistance in applications. So you've done all your preparation. You've taken assessments on CFNC. You know what careers are out there for you. You've talked to your high school counselor. You've got your outfit picked out. You've got your list of colleges you want to engage with. The day of the fair is here. We really want you during the day of the fair to feel confident and excited about talking to these colleges. We want you to double check to make sure that you've signed up for StriveScan, because that's a great way to engage with colleges, get information from them, and express interest. We also want you to know that expressed interest now is taken into consideration for many schools when it comes to the application process. So when you talk to these schools and they scan your Strive scan, that demonstrates that you may be interested in this school. And so when they're reading your application, they may see, oh my gosh, they came to a college fair at their high school and talked to us. They may be a student that we really want to work with to get them here. So it is important to make sure that you're engaging with these schools, because it's a great way to get your foot in the door at your dream school or schools that you may be considering. It's also important to engage with colleges that you're interested in and know that who you're engaging with may be the person reading your application. So being professional, making eye contact, speaking clearly, asking questions, looking excited to talk to this school is really helpful, because a lot of times, I know when I was in admissions, I was looking for the students who had questions and wanted to engage, and I was tasked with following up with those students. Or I may talk to a student, get their information, engage with them via email, and when it's time to read their application, I already have a rapport with the student. So I'm more excited about reading their application and getting them to my school. So it is important to take college fairs seriously on the day of and engage with colleges in a friendly and professional manner, because you never know if that person's actually going to be reading your application or have the ear of the person reading your application. Talking to admission staff may be intimidating, but don't be afraid to ask for what you need or what you want out of your college experience. Colleges want you. That's why they're traveling all over the state to talk to you, to go to your high schools, to go to your communities. They want you to be a student at their school. So while it may seem intimidating, just know that the person behind the table that is talking to you wants to talk to you, and they're there for a reason. So don't be shy, ask questions, shake hands, and make sure that you are prepared to have these conversations. Another good tip is to follow up with colleges after the fair. So if you spoke with somebody that you thought was really cool and you did never thought about attending that school, send them an email and say, "Oh my gosh, Miss Denton, it was so nice to meet you and learn about Barton. I look forward to visiting. Is there anything I can do to make my application more competitive?" That really goes a long way. Amy, do you want to add to that anyway?
Yes, Brittany, I just wanted to make sure. I know you did remind them at the beginning of the webinar to feel welcome to put their questions in the question and answer. We've had one question so far, and I think that's been helpful. So continue to feel welcome to add any questions there so we can address them as Brittany goes through the presentation or at the end of the presentation. We'll be glad to answer your questions. So go ahead, Brittany. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. Yes, ask away. This is all about making sure that you all feel confident in this process and are excited about these college fairs. So please ask questions. We're happy to answer them for you. Now, here are a couple of tips that we want you to know when it comes to college fairs. You may not have a college fair at your specific high school, but you may have one coming to your area. So it's okay to follow different colleges that you're interested in on social media to see when they'll be in your town and engage with them through direct messages. Sometimes schools will advertise different college fair opportunities through flyers in your local community, at your high school and bulletin boards, in your counseling office. They may be different community organizations putting on college fairs. So check out those flyers and those bulletin boards in your local community organizations like the library, the Boys and Girls Club, your high school. There are newsletters out there that you can put your name on. So putting your name in a college system, so asking for more information, like going on a school's website and requesting additional information, may add you to a newsletter to let you know when colleges will be in your area. A lot of times, CACRO governs college fairs in the fall, but some schools will do their own college fairs, or there are different community college fairs that are put on throughout the year. So signing up for college fair or college newsletters or community newsletters will help you know what's going on in your community. Also, engage with your teachers. If you don't know where you want to go, it's okay. Again, you're 16 or 17 years old. You don't have your life planned out right now. That is fine. We're here to help. But your teachers are an amazing resource. The reason I attended the college I went to was because my absolute favorite teacher went there and talked about her experience. And I just knew that was going to be the best fit for me. So talk to your teachers, ask where they attended, ask what clubs and activities they were involved in, what was their major. It's okay to ask if they have made any mistakes in college that they learned from. Your teachers are a wealth of information, so it's okay to talk to them beforehand before a college fair and ask about their college experience so that you can ask questions to colleges that kind of fit what you're looking for. So engage with your educators and keep a lookout for different events happening in your area. When you're at the college fair, it's okay to ask about things outside of the classroom. College is a holistic experience. Sometimes, if you're going to a four-year school, you may live on campus. So it's okay to ask about extracurriculars at the college, ask about the city that the college is in. It's okay to ask questions about the actual admissions counselor or admissions representative's experience. They're there to talk to you about their school, and that's not just the classroom. So engage with them, ask them awesome questions that you are interested in. You're the one going to college. You're the one that's going to be applying. So ask about things that are important to you. For example, I love collegiate sports. So I wanted to go to a school that had a hefty collegiate sports culture and had a great school spirit. So I asked colleges about what it's like to go to games, what it's like to tailgate and things like that, because that was important to me. I knew what I wanted to major in, so that wasn't something I was really concerned in about, but I wanted to know about the school culture. So ask questions about stuff like that too. Regardless of what happens at a college fair, this is a great way to kind of get your foot in the door and engage with schools to kind of start the conversation. After that, it's important that you visit campus. So while you're at the college fair, you can ask about different college visit opportunities. There are individual tours that you can sign up for typically throughout the week at set times where you go around campus with a tour guide and other families who are interested in that school. There are other opportunities like open house that is a more kind of vibrant tour. It is where campuses open up and have different opportunities for you to engage with different majors, extracurricular organizations, campus housing, campus life, and really get a holistic understanding of what the school has to offer. Typically, those are held on Saturdays in the fall and the spring, and every school has different open house dates. So ask about open house and how to visit campus. And there are some schools that have overnight opportunities where you can actually get matched up with a current student and stay overnight, get a tour, eat in the dining hall, go and shadow a class, all of that fun stuff. Looking for colleges is kind of like shopping online. The college fair is a great way to get your foot in the door and kind of shop around, but before you commit to a school, you really want to try it on. So going on a campus visit, an individual tour, overnight opportunity, open house, it is important to step foot on campus before you commit to a school. So that's kind of the next step after a college fair is actually visiting. If you don't know where to start, again, take an assessment on CFNC to get your wheels turning on what your interests match with when it comes to the college major world. And if you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, I just want to reiterate that over and over again. It is okay. Most schools don't allow you to declare a major until your sophomore year if you're a traditional high school student. So, or excuse me, if you're coming out of a traditional 4-year high school, most schools won't typically allow you to declare your major until second semester freshman year of college or sophomore years of college. So it's okay to come in as what we call undecided on your major. But if you know you don't know what you want to do and you're still exploring, when you're at a college fair, you can ask about undecided advising or what support they have for undecided students so that you know coming in, if I don't know what I want to do, I'm not going to be alone in trying to figure that out. So that's a good thing to ask for schools. Juniors or parents of juniors. College fairs are a great time to kind of get your feet wet and figure out what's out there so that next year you have a more informed kind of environment to come into when you are looking at schools. So, juniors, it's never too early to start preparing for senior year, and college fairs are a great way to engage with these schools to see what's out there and just explore. Now, outside of college fairs, there are other ways to engage with schools. And one thing that's becoming really popular, we're going to shift gears a little bit, are community college showcases. I know here in Wilmington, Cape Fear Community College goes to every high school and highlights their programs in a college fair like setting, but it's just for Cape Fear. So they have information that is important to career and technical education students and 4-year bound students as well. Maybe you want to transfer, so you can talk to somebody about what classes should I be taking in high school to prepare for the transfer process after I attend Cape Fear for maybe a year or so, or community college for a year or so. You can participate in different activities. I know some schools will actually bring different equipment or different majors on wheels, like their basic um, law enforcement training, so their BLET vehicles and things like that, their fire trucks, their mechanics programs. They may be doing demonstrations at your schools. Go check those things out because you never know what you may be interested in until you try it. Some colleges will actually provide demonstrations, bring materials. Their culinary program may cook for students while they're on your high school's campus. So engage with these schools, see what's out there. And you can ask about ways to take free college classes while you're in high school through Career and College Promise here in North Carolina. So if you hear that your community college is coming to your school to showcase what they have to offer, and you may only be interested in a 4-year school, or you may be interested in going into the workforce, the military, don't be shy about still going to that showcase because you never know if a program may be interesting it's interesting to you, or there's different opportunities that you can take advantage of through your community college while you're in high school. Also, if you know you want to go to your local community college, you can ask if you can apply on site. Sometimes they have applications on hand or ways to help you get set up with an application. So we just want to make you aware that community colleges do this now, and community colleges are such a great resource in the state of North Carolina. We have 58 amazing for 2-year institutions in North Carolina that we really want you to take advantage of because they're not just for trades or 2-year degrees. There's dual enrollment opportunities, there's enrichment classes. Maybe you want to learn a foreign language. You can take a community college class just to learn a foreign language, but take advantage of these opportunities to engage with them while you're at your high school. Now, I've gone over a lot of information about preparing for college fairs, tips on the date of. Want to see if there's any questions out there on anything you want us to elaborate on regarding college fairs or community college showcases.
We've had a couple of questions in the Q&A, Brittany, and we may address those in publicly here. But I also wanted to share that we're very fortunate now with our organization CACRO that you heard Brittany say many times, cacrao.org. We do now have a public-facing link where you can go see the college fair schedule. So once you get to the cacro.org website, the last tab or the last link at the top of the page will say College Fair Schedule, where you can see, certainly your school counselor, you'll be notified of your college fair, but if you'd like to see when that is ahead of time, if you haven't started school yet, you're certainly okay to go do that now. And we'll see if there are any other open questions in the chat. Let's see. Yes, there have been a few questions about NC College Connect. And the one question that came in that I answered, I just wanted to make sure I address it with everyone else. If you've heard about NC College Connect, you can certainly find out more information or go to the frequently asked questions on the NC College Connect website and see all the details regarding that and the criteria of the students who would be eligible for that program. Even if the student has not set up their CFNC.org account, but they meet the eligibility to apply to an institution through NC College Connect, you can certainly still receive the letter from the Department of Public Instruction. That's DPI in our state. So this is for public high school students who would be eligible based on the GPA requirement that's already been predetermined from the end of your junior year. So you will still receive notification from the Department of Public Instruction, and that means you can just go to the site and claim your spot and therefore open your account, your CFNC account at that time. So we were told, I see a question or two about when the letters may be sent out. If you're already familiar with NC College Connect, it sounds like you are. I think we were told that letters were going out this week. Is that right, Brittany?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Okay, cool deal. All right. Well, I'll go back to answering a couple more questions and you can take it over from here.
Well, that is before we wrap up, I just want to address one of the questions in the chat about when is the best time to apply. So again, Countdown to College Month is October every year, and that is when we push seniors to complete their applications, their residency, and their FAFSA. We will have other webinars to help you through those processes because we are not the type to kind of leave you hanging. So before we wrap up, we want to let you know that finding and applying for the right scholarships is our next webinar. It's going to be on September 9th at 6 o'clock, and you can sign up for that webinar on cfnc.org/events. But we will have webinars to help you through every step of the process. But we find one of the first steps is attending a college fair. So again, we encourage you to reach out to your high school to see when your local college fair is going to be held or to see if there are any community events happening where you can engage with colleges and universities. But this is the best time to start gathering information and planning so that once October hits for your senior year, you are ready to make the best decision for yourself on where to apply and how to apply for financial aid. So before we wrap up, do we have any other questions or any other comments that we want to add, Miss Denton?
All right, I will add this here. You have stated it multiple times, but there was a question regarding, the front facing of a college fair. How can the student really portray their real strengths to a college? And I was just typing there that a lot of that is where the campus visit will come into play, and then the application for admissions. You may want to add more information about the college admissions interview, perhaps, where they can see more of the bigger picture and the true picture of the student beyond the initial introduction at a college fair.
Absolutely. The college fair is the start of the conversation. So if you do want to demonstrate your strengths, like Amy said, definitely a college visit or just emailing a school to say, I met you at a college fair today. I really enjoyed it and wanted to see if there's a way that I could meet with an admissions representative one-on-one or come visit the school to discuss ways that I can make my application more competitive. Again, colleges want you. They want to engage with you. They want you to be interested in their school. So the college fair is a great way to start that conversation. And then it is great to follow up and engage with schools after that as well. Any other questions that are we do have a question about the migration over to Infinite Campus. And yes, DPI, they have the most up-to-date information regarding GPAs through Infinite Campus for the NC College Connect. So don't worry about that.
And I did add to that, I think, now that all schools have migrated to the Infinite Campus, so if the migration perhaps was not complete by the end of June, I believe that's when the GPAs were run to determine the eligibility.
Well, I want to thank my amazing moderator, Amy Denton. I also want to thank our funding partner, SEAA, or North Carolina's State Education Assistance Authority, for holding this webinar this evening. We are here for you at CFNC. We are a wealth of information on cfnc.org, so do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions, but definitely check out your CFNC account for more information about colleges in North Carolina, and engage with your counselors at your school to see when colleges are coming to you. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope you have a great evening and best of luck with this fall.